The display bike's purpose is to show off, to capture the essence of a bike shop, to show what a bike shop is capable of building. The parts they can source, their taste in components, their riding style, and what exactly they love about cycling. If you pay my friends over at Faith Gear in Taipei a visit, this 2019, that's right, they're back, 2019 Leader 735 will greet you in the front window. Let's check it out. What's up? I'm Zach Alado. Life is short, but don't make it shorter, so be sure to ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous, and consider subscribing and hitting the like button so YouTube knows to recommend you more fixed gear videos just like this one. And of course, you can find the parts lists and the price list in the description. And be sure to let me know in the comments below if you want to see more bike checks just like this one in the future. Wabi Cycles is one of my favorite fixed gear brands because they pay very close attention to detail when it comes to making their bikes as fun to ride as they are. Part of what gives Wabi bikes their magic is how they're constructed and what they're constructed out of. High quality, lightweight steel. If you want to learn more about what exactly brings a steel bike to life and why so many people like myself keep saying things like steel is real or I really have no desire to ride any other frame material, you can check out the steel tubing video by clicking the card above. This is Faith Gear's Leader 735, built with shop favorite and overkill components from around the world for a build that brings back the tarck style that was so prevalent in years past. Between 2012 to early 2015, Leader was the go-to aluminum track frame set for fixed gear riders, and the reputation possessed a special magic in Asia, where even people that knew nothing about fixed gear bikes were trying to get their hands on Leader 7 Series frame sets. For you newer riders, Leader is one of the older fixed gear companies that are still around today, and their relationship with the fixed gear scene has been a rocky one, complete with early caution, a loving honeymoon, and it eventually climaxed with the company forgetting to tighten their lock ring, so to speak, in 2015, which led to them going under. But that's a story for another day. Let me know if you're interested in hearing the story of Leader bikes from a fixed gear rider's point of view in the comments below. But now, Leader is back at it, and their 2019 735 features updates for the new fixed gear era and all of Leader's hallmarks that made them famous, or infamous, depending on who you ask. The 2019 735 frameset features Leader's thick aero aluminum tubing with a down tube so thick that it joins with the top tube for more stiffness, supposedly better aerodynamics, undoubtedly more hype, and more real estate for sticker bombing. Not to mention the tubing is so aero that it doesn't even allow for non-aero accommodations like useless bottle cages that'll do nothing but slow you down. The 735 also dons a seat tube cutout, so riders can slam the rear wheel for better aerodynamics and twitchier maneuverability. At least in theory. This is as far as the rear wheel can be slammed with this particular gear ratio, and it's not even close to being tucked away neatly in the cutout, but it's the thought that counts. Leader's top of the mid-range 735 also sports smooth welds, barring the bottom bracket area that is, but you don't look there anyway, for a construction that seamlessly flows together under the deep candy apple sparkle paint job. The current 735 also includes classic Leader signatures like their love it or leave it long boy geometry that requires riders to go down a size, or two, or three, sometimes four, but it also gets rid of the pesky toe overlap issues that plague most track bikes that some riders just can't get used to. The 735 also includes a hydroformed head badge on each of their 7 Series models, so you know whether a frame is the real deal. And for better or for worse, the frameset sports another seat clamp redesign, and time will tell whether this iteration is actually an improvement. And Leader has updated their 7 Series with the new industry standard for aluminum bikes, with a tapered head tube, paired with a Leader I-806 full carbon tapered fork for maximum front end stiffness. For the contact points, we have 31.8mm Cinelli Pista drops in chromoly to carry the theme of ultimate stiffness, unwrapped and ungripped for maximum tarck points. connected to a 100mm CNC Cinelli Mash bolt stem atop 30mm of carbon spacers that save a whopping 8.7 grams over aluminum spacers. Moving on to the rear end of the bike, we have a San Marco Zoncolan saddle sitting on top of the proprietary Leader Casp 6 seat post. That's Carbon Aero Seat Post 6 for some reason, because if you make an acronym out of anything and add an arbitrary number at the end of it, it automatically sounds cooler. Moving on down to the pedals, we have Kink Bmx Pedals and proudly made in Taiwan Ckc Foot Straps, because you best believe that if someone's going to ride this bike, they better be doing fish and chips and keo spins and vans, and not doing something as primitive as racing a track bike on the track, God forbid. The cranks are Vision 386 Evo track cranks with an aero profile and external bearing bottom bracket. The cranks are beautifully paired with the made in Taiwan 49-tooth Alter vinyl chainring. The Alter chainring is matched with a 19-tooth cog for a spinny, skiddy, wheelie tarck bike ratio, linked together with a shop favorite Izumi Eco chain. And for the most baller part of this bike, the front wheel is a full carbon fast forward 5T with a ceramic speed hub to ensure that you save as many watts as possible from drag and from bearing friction to guarantee nothing gets between you and making that milk tea run for your boys as fast as possible. The Aero 5-spoke is complemented by an even more Aero fast-forward carbon disc in the rear, because to build a proper tarck bike, more aero and more stiffness is always better because it looks pretty dang cool. Both wheels are wrapped in 22C. That's right, 22C, not the plebeian 23C that everyone else uses. Challenge Volcano tubulars that probably wouldn't make it through a day of fixed gear skidding for extremely high racy tire pressures and a maximum inconvenience on the street. But it's a display bike after all, so why not crank the race and the tarck to 11 to squeeze out as many fixie points as possible? Faith Gear calls back to Leader's glory days with their over-the-top shop build 735 and eagerly awaits what Leader will do for the fixed gear scene in the coming years, wondering if they can recapture the Leader magic that made them a fixed gear fan favorite in days of yore. For now, this is a bike that looks fast even when sitting stationary in a window, and it harkens back to those earlier fixie days when everyone had impracticality turned to the max for the sake of looking dang cool. Good times, good times. To learn more about what exactly gives a bike its ride quality for stiffness, durability, and weight, feel free to check out this steel tubing explained video that I did in collaboration with Wabi Cycles to learn more about what brings a bike to life. And fixie famous shout out to Ryan Witt and Stand Strong 108 for their contributions over on Patreon that helped me to make these fixed gear videos possible.